Well, never say never. I think that's the lesson I've learnt this morning. Well, I've set the alarm early this morning. 4:30 alarm call. I've done this on the strength of a forecast last night for mist, and sure enough, from where I'm sat at the moment, I've not set off yet, but there is mist. So I'm a little bit unsure of which location I'm going to get to at the moment. I've got two places which are fairly close to each other, so I'm going to head off, and hopefully this mist lasts for another hour or so. The location's not that far, so let's get going. Well, I've got here to my location, my first location. It's there is mist, but I'm going to go and scout it out now. Whether I choose to stay here or not is another matter. Well, I'm here, but there's not as much mist as I was hoping for in this location. There's a little bit of low-lying mist on the ground, but I'm going to go over and check out a viewpoint first before I make a decision. I might actually get a couple of shots in while I'm here, but I think I'm going to move on to another location this morning, because I've driven past quite a few places where it's been really good mist wise. So we shall see. I'm going to go over here and get a couple of shots of a tree that I've scouted out before. I say might as well do it while I'm here. It's very nice this morning, but not exactly what I was expecting. So let's give it a go anyway. Well, despite my initial reservations, it's looking quite nice this morning. I've got this tree here, which I'll spin you around and show you in a minute. There's a little bit of mist in the background, and there's a little bit of low-lying mist on the ground, which looks quite nice. The sun's coming up to my left-hand side, so once the sun breaks through a little bit more, mist might actually pack up a bit, but it's looking quite nice actually. Not as misty as I wanted it, but still quite nice. So I'm going to be shooting infrared first this morning on this tree. It's going to look quite nice, I think. So this is the tree that I'm focusing on. There's quite a few solitary trees in the park. There's a couple that I want to try and shoot this morning. This one is, I just love the shape of it, this top bit up here. And you can see the mist in the background. There's this very slight sort of layer of mist as well in the foreground. And the sun's just coming through. It's going to be side lit, so I'm going to wait for it another few minutes yet. It's starting to light up the trunk of the tree here. And the problem is with this location, this is in a park, and I've got this annoying cricket ground over here, this annoying board here, which is a board to stop the balls flying through into the park, and also a park bench. But I'm going to frame it, so I'm kind of up around here. Now, as I said, I'm shooting infrared this morning. I've got my 590 nm filter on, which gives it that nice kind of orangey and blue tones in the shot. So it looks quite nice. I'll show you on the back of the camera in a minute. But I'm shooting f11, ISO 100. It's giving me about an eighth of a second with the filter on. I'm trying to frame this so I want the tree to stand out on its own. That looks quite nice. So we should give this a go. Now, I said that I was a bit dubious whether this location had worked this morning. It's not perfect, not the conditions that I was hoping for. A bit more mist in the background and obviously around the tree as well, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. But I think I'm going to stick with this location because it does look quite nice. It's always worth kind of trying these places out just to double check. I could have turned around and driven off to the other location I had in mind, but I think I'm going to stick with it this morning. Although I'm fairly happy with this composition, there were a few distracting elements on the left and right hand side, so I decided to go for a 5x4 crop for this image and for the other tree images that I took. Right, the light's come through a bit now and it's lighting up this foreground. There's these circles around the base of the trees where they've let the grass grow, and you get the wildflowers and stuff growing in there, so it makes a nice base for each tree. That looks quite nice now, and the mist is kind of picked up on the left and right hand side now, so I think this is looking pretty good. As much as I like the 590 NM effect, I am going to try this with my 850 NM as well. So more of a black and white shot. Should clean my filters off a bit first. That's better. My dog walkers are out now this morning. Yeah, it's beautiful this morning. It's really nice. Again, like I said, I think I'm going to stick with this location. Sometimes you get this kind of thing in mind where you've got to have location in mind, but you've also got other locations, and you think, oh, should I go here? Should I go there? And you sort of rush around. But sometimes it's better just to stick with your original plan. Otherwise, you kind of lose your momentum, I think. Like I said, the 590 NM filter, it gives a really nice effect, but having said that, this 850 with the black and white effect looks very nice. In fact, let's go as far to say that I prefer the black and white. I'll put both of them up. Let me know what you think. I'm also going to try this in colour. It's looking quite nice now. The lights come up a bit more. Got a polarizer on. But again, I think I prefer the infrared, but let me know what you think. Right, I'm going to move over to another tree. There's quite a few to choose from here. While the light's still good, I might try this one here beside it, and then I might try one shooting into the light. Let's see what we've got. This is my second tree of the morning. Now there is a tree in between the gap of these two behind this tree, so I'm trying to position myself so I don't include that. I want separation for this tree in the foreground. But yeah, I'm going to shoot this in infrared as well, I think. think I found the shot of the morning. It's a nice backlit tree shooting into the sun. All the rays of light streaming down. I'll spin you around in a minute, but I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here, so I'm going to have to use a grad over the top portion of the image because it's quite strong sunlight coming through. So I'm going to use a hard 0.9 grad. So here we go. It's got these 3 trees here, 1, 2, 3. This is the main one, and you can see the light streaming through. We've got a nice path leading through as well, which leads you through the shot. There's an annoying post here right in the foreground, but I might Photoshop that out. Sacrilege. But yeah, it's got to be done. I know I said that colour was out of the question this morning, but this looks pretty good. So I'm going to shoot it in infrared first and then see what it looks like in colour. Yes, this is definitely the shot of the morning, I think. Now, I'm going to have to work fast here because the light's picking up pretty quick. So I'm going to change to my 70 to 200. I'm going to shoot the same tree, but from slightly further back. Zoom through. I just think it'd be nice to kind of isolate it, and hopefully the telephoto will compress the perspective a bit more, which is my plan. So I'm going to stick this on there a minute and move further back. Yes, much better. So I've now isolated the tree. I'm on just over 70 mil, between 70 and 100 mil, so probably about 90 mil. Came right further back, isolated the tree a little bit more, and it's kind of compressed the perspective, gives you a bit more shadow of the tree. Still using the grad over the sky just to hold in the top part. I'm just waiting for a guy with high-vis trousers on to move out of the shot. It's one of those things, but yeah, it shouldn't be too long. It's looking quite nice. Yeah, he's going now. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this shot. Which goes to show, you make these plans, but you come out and you end up with something completely different than you weren't expecting. So this is good. I'm going to bracket this shot, so I'm taking 3 exposures. And I'm underexposing on the last frame, which basically brings out more detail in the mist, and I'll blend those together then in Photoshop. Now this is colour. I know I said I wouldn't shoot colour this morning, but never say never. Well, never say never. I think that's the lesson I've learnt this morning. It's been great. I came here, it's my first location. I was dubious whether or not it would work, whether there was enough mist. But yeah, it's turned out quite nicely in the end. Hope you like the pictures. I'm pretty pleased with what I've got this morning. And I'm glad, like I say, that I stuck with this location. It's always tempting to kind of move off and try somewhere else. But yeah, it's good to stick with it this morning. So I'm going to pack up in a minute. It's still very early. It's getting busy now, and the light is this time of year. We're still in July at the moment, so within about sort of an hour of the sun rising, especially when you're shooting into the light, it gets a bit too bright and contrasty. So I'm going to pack up and head off in a bit. So thank you for joining me on this one. A little bit frantic this morning, but it's worked out really good in the end, which I'm really pleased with. So hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.